did something new. So
Hi, this is Milani Douglas. Welcome to another episode of the Curative Collective. This Curative Collective is a part of our Project Reclamation, where we are celebrating food and we're celebrating the art of connectivity. So we are connecting with community organizations, galleries, and people that are working at the intersection of art, food, and social justice. It is my honor today to have Amir Browder of
hey.
Home Gallery DC. I am a fan of your work. So please tell everybody what you do
Okay.
and give us some info just about like your projects that you're working on.
All right, all right. Thank you for having me once again. I really appreciate it a lot. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so brief introduction about OM. OM is a gallery for independent and emerging artists of all disciplines. It was started back in 2014 out of the Anacostia Art Center, and it was a need that I felt that Anacostia at the time didn't have when it came to luxury clothing boutiques and just experiences. Period. And what I wanted to do was create this experience for at the time it was for men to have a men's boutique, but the boutique kind of grew to a place where it became like a guy's studio apartment in the space. So everything was for purchase at home: the art, the furniture, the clothing, and also it became this kind of epicenter for independent and emerging artists who didn't have a platform here in the DC gallery scene, with all the bureaucracy and the red tape that goes along with the art community. And I noticed that a lot of those individuals would come into OM and really love the platform that was created for them, and it kind of expanded from there, and taking me over to 52 O Street Northwest in 2016, where it garnered this cult like following and more of a pivot towards not just traditional fine arts, but art of all disciplines. And it really became this intimate, non-traditional gallery space that has really garnered a lot of attention and really had its fair share of amazing artists here in the DC area. Have gone on to do some really fantastic things in the art community. So that's a little bit about OM, and yeah, that's pretty much about it. The gallery at this point in time is pretty much booked until April of 2022 with independent emerging artists here from the DC area, and and it's just a fantastic place. Currently on display now, I have a artist named Marta from the Teller Gallery, who's doing a show called Currency, which is a multi-functional exhibition, multimedia exhibition, excuse me. And you definitely want to come check it out. It's on display until March 27th. Sorry, it's a little long-winded there, but
Oh, no, you're fine. You're answering the question. We needed to definitely know about what you do. If you haven't been to Home DC yet, please visit. It is such a wonderful space. It's definitely, it's in a way cozy in a way that art cannot be, and at the same time, like high fashion. So I love spaces that have that range of being like extremely comfortable, but extremely high end and high fashion. So I love that as well about it. And then also, I've enjoyed watching your journey. You have premiered, even though you started out as a gallery for men, you
Mhm.
pretty quickly started to bring in women as DJs, women as artists, hosting some parties as women. So, looking at your history, we love champions of women. So, tell us some women artists that you've worked with.
Oh man, the list is extremely long.
It is.
I can start with what you mentioned about the DJs. There was a event that I had every Tuesday called Omen Music, where we would get local DJs to perform in it in Ohm's intimate space, and it was similar to Boiler Room, if anyone knows what that is.
Mhm.
A very intimate space where the DJs could pretty much play what they want to play, and the people they are really there for the music and really to enjoy it. But long story short, as we started this journey with Omen Music, was started in March of 2019. It went all the way until March of 2020 before the pandemic. Of course, we couldn't do it anymore, but we had over 50 DJs every Tuesday. You know, every Tuesday we would have a different DJ. But out of those 50 DJs, I say 40 of them were women DJs, and they were the dopest DJs. I got to say that were actually on the ones and twos. Like every time they would come, they would just kill it, just kill it. There was a couple that are now doing some really amazing things. Filet Mignon, who's with Grounded.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, she actually came to do DJ. So that was pretty spectacular. I didn't even know she was in the Grounded at that time, and I just found out she's right down the hall from me now, doing some amazing things with her company. But as far as some of the women artists that I've worked with, I say Xenia Gray is one. She's an amazing artist via Eastern Europe. Who else? Marta from Latella's Gallery, who's on display now currently at home. Jeez, see, you put me on the spot. There's
I
so many.
know.
There's
I
so many.
didn't.
Hold on, I gotta get. Let's see. Let's see. I gotta go through my
Your
roller.
Rolodex.
Yeah, of
Mhm.
all the artists that I.
But that was definitely something that I was very enthused by, because you've had so many women artists.
I've
And I
had
didn't have
so
the exact numbers, but when I looked at the DJs and who premiered, I was like, this is a lot of women. And
yeah.
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'm trying to think of of all the women artists that I've had. Like I can't even think of any, but Xenia Gray comes to mind.
Yeah.
She was amazing. Marta comes to mind. I have even in 2021 coming up. Um, I have some amazing women artists also. I have an artist named Kim. She's premiering in April 3rd through the 16th. I have another young lady who does murals in the DC area, Kamachi Juice. I forgot her name, but she'll be there next year. I mean, it's just so many. But they all are amazing, and I'm thankful to even have them in my gallery. You know, it's not that I technically am looking for women, but I am looking for diversity when it comes to creating that balance and that platform that I think a lot of women have been overlooked in when it comes to the art community. You know, there's so many women artists, but they only make up 2 to 3% of all collectors.
Right.
You know, so I think it's important that that providing that platform and not necessarily allowing someone to do something, but providing that platform and having the artists be able to express themselves in the way they want to, in the way, they want to use that space is very empowering because I don't do anything when the artist comes. If they ask me to help curate, sure, but 9 times out of 10, I'm just the platform, and they're able to express themselves and don't hold back anything when they're showing their work. And I think that's the beauty of Ohm, and that's the beauty of art. Period. Especially when it's a coming from a woman's perspective. There's no guy telling them, "Oh, you should put it like this," or "You should do it like that." It's more so like, "No, I'm gonna put it like this, and this is how it's going to go," and that's the way it is. Like
Yeah.
so that's one of the beauties of seeing women being at home, and that's pretty cool. And the funny thing is, sorry, I'm going on and on,
No, you're
but
good.
the funny thing is that "homme" means, everyone knows "homme" means man in French, right? So
Mhm.
so a lot of times when the women artists, they're like, "Oh, I see that you just sell men's clothes, or is it okay for women?" I'm like, no, no, no. It doesn't mean that. It means that once we're under this roof, because I have many different languages on all the window panels. There's one in Japanese, one in Italian, and one in Russian. But it's like once we get under this roof, which is Om, I feel that we're all the same. We're all going. We all have the same kind of struggles and trying to reach the same kind of goals, but we're all under one roof, and we treat each other accordingly with with respect, with patience, with just just the way that you would want to be treated, and
Right.
that's what OWN really represents. So it's open for everybody to just to display work and come and always be a part of this amazing platform.
So that's another reason that I wanted you to come on the Curative Collective, because when we did our project Reclamation, and it's a recipe portal where we're collecting family stories, we have family pictures, we have maps, and people are, sharing their stories around food from around the globe. And I found it so interesting that a lot of people were like, well, it's the Women's Museum. Can men be a part of the project? And I was like, of course, of course you can. And I felt that you may have a similar struggle with you being something that's primarily and initially marketed towards men, but it doesn't mean that it's not inclusive. And so I was like, yeah, we need to have that conversation so that the men who are normally coming to your project know that they're welcome at the National Museum of Women in the Arts, and the women that are a part of our projects need to know that they're welcome at Home DC. Yeah, and so you're also working on actually a food project as well. So can you give us some information about Carry Out and Rogue?
Sure. Oh, and another amazing artist that was at home is Sarah Diani. She's really amazing. So definitely check it. So yeah, so it's starting to come to me as I.
And if you send me some, I'll be able to make sure people can look them up in the comments on our Facebook, because it'll be on our Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah, I don't want anybody mad at me. Like when people give shout outs at Grammys and stuff, and they forget somebody.
Yes, I understand. But see, that's the beauty of it, because you work with so many women. You do have a large list that it is, it's more than something that you could just pull off at the top of your head. I'm always concerned when people can pull the 2 women that they do work with. That's when I get worried. So I totally understand, because, from looking at the history of, what you do and preparing for this interview, I was like, yeah, he's definitely championing a lot of women and artists in different formats. So like we have the T as well, which is women music artists.
Nice.
And so I think that's great that it's not only just visual art, but it's you're providing platforms for women in a lot of different ways.
Of course. No, even with the Carry and Rogue that you mentioned, I started that with a young lady named Alexander. And this was we're friends, and she worked at Big Bear, which is not too far from where Gallery is, and she would come in all the time and bring these amazing dishes that she would bring back from Big Bear, just make on her own, and we developed a friendship through another friend of mine who was also named Alexander. So her name is Alexander. His name is Alexander. So, but so she first approached me in 2018 with an idea to do this amazing dinner for probably about 15 to 20 people, I believe, and it was upstairs from my gallery, and it was this amazing meal with like braised lamb and like just all types of roasted vegetables and amazing desserts. Just a full course meal, and it went extremely well. And what basically happened from that, we would just talk every day, and she would come over to see the different artists, just to chill sometimes as well. And in 2020, when the whole pandemic was going on, as you know, a lot of the smaller restaurants were closing, and they didn't really have too many options. They were just going out of business. So we were thinking one day, she came up with the idea. She was like, hey, like, what do you think of like this kind of carry out style um, um, food menu that I can do? And I was like, wow, that sounds amazing. Where are you thinking about doing it at? She's like, I'm doing it here at home. I was like, hey, wait.
I love it.
I was like, oh, okay. So how are we gonna pull that off? And so we just kind of brainstormed over some wine, and she came up with this idea where they would be kind of like this bag lunch, but a kind of a specialty bag lunch, that could be really easy to take. Things such as and tacos and empanadas and just all different types of small bite foods.
Hmm.
But there was a twist with that also. At that same time, this was when there was a lot of civil unrest going on too. This was in June, and I was thinking, I said, well, just to have the food is a really great idea, but let's add the art element to this. So we started thinking, and I was able to get three amazing artists who were displaying their work that had a real impact as far as what their work was communicating. One was Halim Flowers, whom I'm sure a lot of people know about his work and his story. Another was Esteban Whiteside, and another was Marley McFly. Now you probably say those are all men artists. Yes they were. But the beautiful thing is that again, they were working hand in hand with Alexander to curate a meal, a kind of a bag lunch that represented their background and things that they like, in addition to their art on the wall for a pop up that was not only for the cause of um, um recognizing two different genders coming together to create something really beautiful, but also showing that there is unity amongst people here in the DC area among all different races. So that was a great experience, and it went extremely well. We sold out every time that we had these lunches, and people really gravitated towards it, and they really appreciated that they're not only seeing art, but they're also getting food also with that is nurturing, that was done and that was prepared in a way that was good to the soul. So everything was done purposely, and it couldn't have been done without Alexander. So I'll definitely give you all her Instagram. I'll send that over. But
Okay.
she's definitely the person that we were able to kind of connect with and get that amazing pop up going. So I'm super.
Yeah, definitely. Please connect us to Alexandra. I would, love to be able to follow that. And how often do you guys plan to do any more carry out in Rogues? Do you have any coming up?
We don't have any coming up now because she's been really busy with the.
Good.
She's working on a pizza pop up over at a brick oven pizza over at Big Bear. So she's like the head chef of that over
Nice.
there. So you definitely want to go check that out over there. But of course, we were waiting also until the weather got a little warmer, so that people can properly social distance while they were enjoying the meal and while they're coming to check out the artwork. So definitely, we're planning something, but we haven't. We'll fill you in on the deets once they're available. So
Well, if you have something for September, keep us in mind so
yeah,
we can
yeah,
so we
I,
can maybe figure out something.
yeah. I think the Halim one, the Halim pop up. But see the thing with Halim, it wasn't a pop up for his work. It was a pop up for the carry out and road.
Yeah.
But his work was up for 2 weeks. But the
Hmm.
but the pop up was just for his opening exhibition and his closing night, which did extremely well. I forgot what it was. I believe it was tacos for that. Was it? Was it?
I
Was it
think it
tacos?
was. I think it was empanadas. I want to say it was for some reason I feel like it wasn't open tacos.
Yeah, it was something with some slaw, some coleslaw,
Yeah.
and
I
it was
want to
great.
say it was like, yeah.
I'm getting kind of hungry right now. That's why you see I'm
I
not.
know, right? It is that time.
Yeah, but no, it was really an amazing way to come together with the community, which is the 52 Oak Street community in that whole area over there. So I just want everyone to come check out Home. It's not a men's only space. It's definitely a space where pretty much I'm in. Excuse me one second while this truck goes by.
Okay.
Okay.
It's probably louder, definitely louder to you than
Yeah.
it is to us.
Oh, it is okay. Yeah. Look. The funny part about Holmes, I truly have. Oh, Marion Johnson is another one. So I'm breaking it
Okay.
out as I
It's
go along.
coming. It's coming. That's cool.
Marion
That's
Johnson, another one. But
cool.
it's truly a place where I interact with more women there than I do men. You know what I mean? Which
Mm-hmm.
is really dope. Like even my photographer, Ava, um,
Mm-hmm.
woman, woman, woman photographer. Like even the people that have done, the the grass on the ceiling, the
Yes. Oh,
moss on
I
the ceiling,
love.
that was done by Rewild, and that's a
Yeah.
primarily women-owned establishment. So all these
Mm-hmm.
different things I owe definitely to the women that have really came out and showed out for home, and they make it like it's theirs. Like they come in, they do their thing, and
Mm-hmm.
as anyone could tell you, that it's just a place where it's like this melting spot, and people are free to do and express themselves in a way that is really dope.
Well, I must admit, your home is one of the spots that I'm most excited about visiting post pandemic.
Please.
And I am glad that you have kept things going during this time period. And so, and if anybody wants to come and visit, what's the best way for people to find out about Home DC and be able to see some of the exhibitions that you have coming up?
Sure. So you can always go to my Instagram at
Mhm.
HOMME_DC. Again, that's HOMME_DC. Also, the website should be finished within about probably the first or second week of April. Just working on some finishing touches with that, so it could be perfect for everyone to come view that. But the best way right now is through the Instagram, and you can always contact me if you want to, contact me via email at Amir, AMIR, and my last name Browder, BROW, D as in David, E as in Edward, R as in Robot, at Ymail, not Gmail. Again, not Gmail, but
At Ymail.
at Ymail. I know it's really old, but
It's
at
okay.
ymail.com. You could always shoot me a line, or if you want to schedule to come in for appointment only schedules to come view some of the upcoming exhibitions. I'm gonna put a calendar on my Instagram, so you can see the different artists that will be at home from now until the end of this year. So it's definitely some amazing artists. A lot of them again are women artists who have some very powerful messages.
And then also, if you like some good music, every now and then Home DC goes live and has some good music playing. And I'm
Yeah.
always excited to catch that whenever I do. So if you like a good playlist, we can also look to Home DC to catch them sometimes when they go live for that. But
Yeah.
definitely the artist for sale, and you're able to support some of the women artists there. So you said you have Martis this month, right?
Martha's band. We were
Mm-hmm.
just featured in the Washington Post. They did an
Okay.
amazing write up on us for Martha's show Currency, which is really amazing. We've done some great programming for that show also. If you
Beautiful.
like, yeah, if you like, if you can go to Domestique Wine, which is an organic wine shop here in DC. We're doing a wine tasting, a virtual wine tasting, where we've collaborated with them to create this bundle of three different wines that we're going to be tasting on.
Oh,
Yeah,
cute.
on the 25th at 7 p.m. You can order the wines through them. They can ship them. You can go
Mhm.
pick them up. But it's three different wines from off the coast of Italy, where Martha's exhibition kind of got its got its inspiration from.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, you could definitely see us just being fake wine sommeliers because we have no idea what we're doing. So
Well, good. I might have to join you since I don't have to know
yeah,
everything.
yeah, nah, definitely try to join that. It's on the
Yeah.
25th. Just go to Domestique. I'll be posting that on my IG story also.
Okay.
So you can definitely go and check that out, and just type in Ohm. When you go to Domestique's website, just type in Ohm, and then then the bundle package will come up.
Okay, and then it'll come up.
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And when we reopen our exhibition, because we're going to be accepting more submissions and having more programming starting in the fall, starting September, I'll definitely let you know so we can find a way to, cross paths and cross pollinate audiences and have and do something, fun together.
Nah, that's gonna be amazing. I really truly looking forward to it. I'm just honored to be
Yeah.
part of this. This is a really big platform, and I really appreciate it so much.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing in DC and beyond.
Yeah.
I love the fact that everything that you do at home and just your whole philosophy is just all around inclusive. It's a lot of worldwide influences from little nooks and crannies around the world and bringing attention to different things. So I appreciate your expansiveness and have loved the women and DJs and artists that I've been introduced through your platform.
Yeah.
So we want to keep it going and find a way to continue to support each other. But Amir, it is such a pleasure to have you and talk to you. And I know we're gonna find our way to collaborate for this fall and be able to continue to support and champion women artists and find ways that women and men and all spreads of genders can come together and continue to do the beautiful work that we all came to do.
Exactly. And before I go, I want to say happy Women's History Month and International Women's Month, and just everything that goes on with that. So it's pretty cool to be on National Museum of Women in the Arts for Women's History Month. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it is. I thought you would enjoy that.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. We applaud you for being a champion of women, and that's what this platform is about. Yes, we are all about women, but none of us can do the work that we need to do if we're not championing each other. It's very hard work, and we have to lift and rise together. So we're glad to highlight someone who is lifting and rising with us. We appreciate that. So we will put all your information up and make sure that people can find you at home_DC on IG. And then also if you get a chance to, please check out our website, reclamation.nemwa.org. And we have some wonderful recipes. A lot of people from DC have submitted, and family stories. We have beautiful pictures from around the world. And we will be opening that up this fall. But thank you all for joining us for another episode of Curative Collective, highlighting organizations that are working at the intersection of art, social change, and food in the Washington, D.C. area. Today we've had Home DC. Amir, thank you. And we will see you all next Monday for the next Curative Collective. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Peace, guys.
Peace.
Bye-bye.